Hello and welcome back to Atlantic City. Look at our boys, our beautiful Emevian boys, getting to it. Here they are. Yep, as commanded by the intro of my video, my cat Guts breaks into the room, smashes the door open with his head. Although he's trained himself to actually use his hands, or paws, as you should say, to open the door. It's a sliding door. It's a little heavy, I understand, but he's a big cat, so he pummels his way through the door. Regardless, that little bit of background aside, here we are. Just want to say thank you to Jason Poon for your magnificent comment. I am always doing a kind of double thing where I'm doing half sword, I'm doing 6, I'm doing half sword. I also just realized that there's some missing openings on this side, but that's okay. I really like half sword, and I think that game is magnificent. It's perfect in every way. So expect that to be kind of the thing for now, until I deem otherwise, until Intravenous comes out on the 15th, which I should have lined up, hopefully, Intravenous 2, in case you're unaware, which is a game that I had started my channel on a long time ago, so hopefully the people who watched the original Intravenous videos will come back and see the new ones as well. Let me make sure this is turned as well. So, here we are back in Atlantic City. And what we were doing last time was basically expanding, and revitalizing our city design for what I'd call the late game. We're trying to get into late game. We've got all of our babies being born. We've got regions, tons of regions. We have a good population. We're all native Emevians with no slaves, and we're trying to go for that free slaves run, where we're trying to just free up all of our Emevian slaves. Ideally, we're trying to keep also building nice pools, designs everywhere. I was noticing that when I was downtown, there are some areas that could probably get their revamped road. At least like these spots, because I saw that they walk over this spot. We probably don't actually need it right there, but at least over those spots. And then potentially from at least here all the way down to like here, maybe. We'll have it, well, the thing is, when it goes like that, it's really hard to say when to stop, because this is the main road, so we'll make it 3. And we'll get to go on that. And luckily for me today, it's a nice cool day in the background, so we can actually do some commentary and follow along. And I don't usually do this part of the series, commentary-wise, so this will be a good example or chance for people who, long-time viewers or new viewers alike, to kind of understand how I run my regions. So, you can see I left this little green. This is a region that can be upgraded. I left it on purpose so that we can do this. And I'd like to slow it down in the background so we don't have any problems that arise. So you can see this guy here is making me fur. He's got a stand, he's got hygiene 1, and he's got the land clearance. With that all together, I think we just also captured this region last time. So I think it's going to also drop to 694. I think that I am big-brained enough to get this to work. So you click that upgrade that I just did. I do things very quickly, so I'm sorry. I upgraded to the large town, and then I go to the urbanization. And all I am simply doing is trying to level out these two. So 928 is not for that. We ideally want to go for the third one, which would be 1,200. That should be good with a level 1 well. we will need a second level band station. Even then, it's still gonna be kind of bad, so we can just wait for a little while, and this loyalty will recover over time. Because they are at a 11% support rate, it's just going to be very low in general. And you can see that I think this region really just didn't have very much for to offer, so may as well do something kind of like that, where if it's a region that has good green arrows, switch it. And then now that that's set, we'll let it go. We have 9 regions, and you can see one of these regions actually is producing opiates, which we had that guy doing. So we could probably take this, remove the opiates, and now we have a little bit more to work with here. Obviously, the opiates are more valuable, but food is also very valuable. This area is as big as it's going to get. I think in this one instance, opiates would probably be fine, so we didn't lose anything there. And then we go over to Paradin here, which has the same kind of situation. So instead, we'll switch to opiates. Opiates are really good in general because you can sell them, and they are extremely valuable. Whenever I'm in dire need of cash, I'll just sell a bunch of opiates. And you can see, like, this region here. Let's say I want to upgrade Zweitz. Where is Zweitz? Very hard to see in the middle of this desert here, but you can see that it is a fairly large region. I forget where he placed all of the... Okay, here it is. So if you hover over the population, it's beneath the region capacity. You can see the city hall, plus 10. The area, 94.67, which is a fairly large size. And the fertility, which is base 0.5. Not great. Not the best. But we can go and take these guys away. That's still not enough. And we'll take this one away. And we should have enough to get to the next tier. Usually around 400 and above, you'll be able to reach the next level of large town, I think it is, or a small town, yep. And so you just need to clear out these and do that way. When you level up to the next level, 3 to 4, you're going to want to get a well. So that's one of the main things we're going to focus on too. So we're going to get that going. And in the background, we're going to just run our city here. So what I was focused on in that last episode was trying to expand our military stuff. And I think that we had done a good amount of that. And this is a couple days later, so you have to bear with me. Okay, so sorry about that. We have our military area over here, and we also have our production zone over here. So fairly good on our production levels. We've got gems, so we can actually potentially put some housing down for our boys, and we've got minus 40 workforce. So let's actually authorize 52 Mevian boys into the city, so that we can actually maximize our potential here. We've got a bunch of people training. We could likely put a couple people into this new building here. And you can see this is kind of why I don't show you guys a lot of this stuff, because I start to fly around very quickly. And if I start to do that, you'll see me clip it. But for now, I like to kind of show exactly how my late game goes, especially how I play, because I usually will run it at 250 times speed here in the background. You can see if you double click this third arrow here, it'll go very fast. And I just kind of let them do their thing. See, we're growing in all of our numbers. Nothing is really occurring. I'd like to keep these guys training, so we're gonna get them back up to 50%. And we can actually edit them to have 1 metal armor apiece and a sword. Another thing I wanted to do was actually get the last production building for this area, which is a carpenter. And then we need a warehouse. Perfect. It fits perfectly. Awesome. This guy will make leather shields, and we have just enough stuff coming in for that too. So he will be making leather shields, and these guys will start to get equipped with leather shields, so that they can protect themselves in the midst of combat, and the chaos, and the carnage, and the bloodshed, which they will be creating, hopefully. And it looks like oh, it's because a lot of our guys are training. Let's get a bunch of more Mevians here, because we can keep just pumping them out as much as we need. They really are just happy. And as long as I can keep up with their housing, which I should be able to, I think that we're pretty close to the next upgrade for second floors. Ideally, we put in some housing over here, probably. And what I always do is I check for noise. So noise is very strong in this area here. And this is likely going to continue out this way, so we don't really want to pack our houses in there. But sometimes, like a building like this, and depending on the shape of the building, they do have different sizes. But the apartment and the house have the same width. The longhouse and the house vary sometimes. So like this kind of work. I think that I do want to tuck it in somewhere over here, but the problem is what it's gonna look like after. You know what? We'll do it like that, actually. I kind of like to have these types of houses off to the side. So, and I know it's an annoying view because I have the noise view taken off there, but we're gonna have a little road off to the side. So that's 60 houses for us. We could also upgrade those. We also could probably tuck in some more houses along the coast here, because yeah, we have a lot of coastal space. 2 lanes sounds good because, especially in these types of areas, there's a lot of people who have to be living and working. So we'll put down what should be 150. Yeah, 50, 50, 50, 150 new houses. They can also be upgraded with cut stone. I don't have a lot of cut stone though, so we really don't want to use it too much. Unless it's on pools. Pools are something I really like, or upgrading these types of wells, which will give us a boost overall. And goddamn, we have a lot of fucking machine parts. Holy crap. Oh my god. I have never seen that many. Oh, actually, we can save a lot of labor. Someone's probably been in their head, just stopped watching like 30 minutes ago because I had 800,000 machine parts and didn't do this. You're like, dude, you're missing so many workers because you could upgrade them. I didn't notice. I'm not paying attention to those numbers. Sometimes you don't read them. I have been playing so much Half Sword, really. And I'm not mocking people. you guys are all great. It's just the people who can't see that. Sometimes I am a blind idiot. It's hard to notice these things when you're focused on so many other things. Let's get this going like that. And this should be good. We've got, like, my main focus is, like, on iron and paperwork. So that stuff is never out, and we never have to deal with any kind of administration shortages. And also, speaking of administration shortages, we probably have our upgrades available on those regions. So it's whites. Yep. So now he's at 625, which is the level 3 town, a small town. We can click it. This, you'll notice they'll put our health at like 0.5, kind of 0.47 there. So we're gonna want to get a well. It's gonna bring this up to the blue, which is good. You obviously want to have that. For some reason, base loyalty for these guys is just very low. So I think with the technology, I'm gonna go in here and get this. Nope, I need a little bit more. But then when we get that, that'll be a phenomenal thing. And I cannot for the life of me, I think it was clay, gems. That was what it was. Clay and gems. That's what we had. And then we also had this region here. So it looks like they are going to get back to their target population. Okay, good. Sometimes you have to make sure you check, because sometimes they'll drop below a point and then they're not going to recover. And always make sure you have your admin here, at least in the green. Having spare workers for this reason is very important. And I love that Jake somehow coded in knowing that if you just copy it off of a military building, it's going to be a military item. And if you copy it off any of the crafting other buildings, it will be a furniture building. Brilliant guy. I don't know how he did that. I say don't ever question the guy. He's magical. He's wizardry. He is the Lord of Six. He can really do some fucking awesome things. And I am blazing the guy for sure, because, dude, how? I don't know. Like, I get it. obviously, I don't understand coding, but to be able to just copy and know that, because I copied it off the military building and not this one, it came as a shield variant. Eleanor has moved its capital. What happened? You fall apart again, Dan? Oh, this is not Eleanor. This might be part of Eleanor, maybe. I don't really like to read through the thing there. I play this like if you were literally a dumbass from this era. This is a time period when like people collapsed from technology. Speaking of dumbasses collapsing from technology, let's send one. If we were to recruit some boys, we've got how many talapis? A lot of talapis. So why don't we get a group of 90 talapis here, 120. Oh, actually, before we do that, we're gonna want to make sure we actually put down the army supply depots so that they don't just freak out and die. So we go to our military and we go to the army supply depot here. And a lot of the military stuff is over here, so we may as well just tuck it all up here. And as that's kind of along there, we'll just do that. So that's for bows, shields. No, we won't give them shields, but we'll make sure we have bows. And we'll just do these 3 for now because it's just me clothes and stuff like that. And it's close enough to the border where I really don't care if it's like perfect or not here. Let's do something like that. Okay, so let's get them to do that. Once they get that done, we're gonna go and get these rations going. I'm also gonna keep boosting through that, and then I want to create. So let's click off of those groups. Can I do that? Thank you. Create. So these guys, we need to move like this. I want them to start training. There's 200 people. There'll be 50-man groups. They're going to get to training. They're going to become conscripts. They're going to bolster our force. They will literally have no weapons. Actually, we can give them swords. So let's give them a sword. Here you go. You all have swords. You will be nothing. Your purpose is just as a number. But what I'd like to potentially do, as there is noise over here, but I really want them to have flanks. And nice, we have a lot of opiates, so we don't have any storage space for the export. Nice, we got this one here. We'll start exporting opiates from here, like so. And actually, we'll give them 3 laborers so that they can actually get that job done. And they're gonna start exporting. So usually it's best to have the rations closer. And then you also have to actually select the building that they're going to go to. They'll go do that. Then this guy, the same kind of scenario, you have to select the building. So boom, like that. He'll go and grab them. And we can do one thing better to kind of help him out here is give him a little door in the back. And then the last guy is going to need to be built. We'll give them bows. Do not know where my boyer is. I don't think I have a boyer, actually. I think I have not built a new boyer. So, as mentioned, we're going to need to start building buildings down here, kind of tucked in. So, my idea was, maybe we'll do something like this. Kind of like that. And I think I can get away with the... Yes. Yes. Perfect. That is actually a perfect design for me. And then I can potentially keep the hauler right here, put another 3-lane, and then put another... I don't mind having them in a close proximity to noises. It's just an environmental factor they're going to have to put up with. But we need this power here. We cannot ignore that having it close to the military zone is smart. And so that's kind of how I'm running this. I did want to contemplate something here. So I will purchase, they only have, oh, these are ours. Sorry, I'm selling. You, sir, give me, for that many, sure. That's not that bad. And then when they get in the city, we're gonna decree, go to emancipate, and drop those boys into the population. 20 odd boys. It shouldn't really dip my population anywhere. It, like, as you can see, there's really no the former slave thing. If you were to get like 250 of them and your only population was like 250 and you did that, you would experience real pain. But I do have, and actually, you know what, to maximize the potential for all of this stuff, we need to make sure all other races in the city are prosecuted, so that whenever they enter the city, they're prosecuted and brought to jail. And then we can do what we need with them. But these guys are all going to be enslaved. Anybody who commits a crime will be enslaved for the sole purpose of turning them back into the populace. And hopefully that will get me that sweet achievement there, because that is one of the most elusive achievements besides defending your kingdom. That achievement, I've never seen many people. Apparently, I've seen a YouTuber. It's hilarious, as I've been trying to get my achievements, and another YouTuber released a video at the same time, doing it all apparently in one go. I don't watch other people's content, so when it comes to those things, I really don't know what they're doing. So if you ever see those types of coincidences, it's surely just more of a coincidental thing. I do see the thumbnails, of course. I'm one of the few Songs of Six YouTubers. But then if I'm doing something similar or dissimilar, I'll alter things, because I try to steer my own path. So that was like a, what the heck? How did he do it? He must have did that. So I kind of thought about it. If I was to cheese the system, how would I do it? I think I would make a city kind of like what I'm doing right now, and I would have a lot of walls just specifically designed for that purpose of letting them come in. Have my whatchamacallit, loyalty, or my garrison be just small enough so that when people attack me, they'll be strong enough to win, but also defensive enough to be able to, like, you know, hold them back each time. I think that's how it's done. I don't know. I really don't know how I'm going to do those ones if I wanted to go for those 100% spots. I'd probably specifically choose a mountain map and choose Dundarians. Dundarians are just really good overall dudes, and they can just punch people straight to the moon if they need to. And we'll get Cantors, of course, because you can get like 3 Cantors and they would do a lot of damage to a whole regiment. We're gonna let more people in the city. We need more people. We need more people. Let's give this 50 slots, and then the same with the fish. We want 50 slots here. So we have a lot of food coming in, and this region, Catamarak or whatever here, is still growing. Very, 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 very slowly. You can see they are growing. Because if it says target 1.2, that means they're growing. If it doesn't say that, that means they're simply just stuck. And it kind of looks like he's stuck, but I think it's just because the base populations are moving so slowly. Growing, yeah, that is. So now that we are training, like I said, I'm trying to get into a fight with somebody. I ideally want to get into an actual conflict. Let's get these guys trained up to 20%. And we'll also give them some armor. It'll be leather armor. So that way we can start doing some damage. We've got bows being made. Looks like this building is getting enough bows, so we're going to start our training process here. So, army. We can do mercenaries, but we'll try our hand with this, and we're actually going to give them a O shape here. Maybe I'll change it later down the line. And when you make these groups, you can only select one side of this, and you can only get them to 50. So it's the best idea to get them to max it out. As time really doesn't equate to much in this game, you can obviously spend as much time, unless you are obviously being rushed by guys. I could give them max bows here, which probably would be pretty smart, but in reality, I'll just give them 4. and it will take 70 days to recruit these guys and get them trained to their 50% training. So that will happen. So what it'll take is 30 days to train the first group, and every consecutive day, I think it's like 4, then 6, then so on and so forth. They will get to the next training amount. So until they get 70 days, then they will be ready, and that should be about a couple years from now, actually in game. So that's why we go into full speed. Full speed. We need max speed. I'd like to get water down this road here. We get some tourism potential here. That's nice. I don't really like tourists, but that's cool. Alright, well, keep putting houses down here. I think that's probably the smartest idea. And do that, like that, and then what I do want to do is put some good wells kind of over here. Like that. That's awesome. We'll have that go there. And we'll tuck in 2 big old hearts perfectly. Right there. And we'll get some speakers. As these people like water, I really don't mind putting them near the water. Just want to make sure, yeah, that they kind of line up there. So we'll get that built there. And that'll be kind of good for their services down here. We'll upgrade them. Do everything that we need for that. Making sure that we have more housing is very important. And obviously we might need a new mason. So we'll do another mason. Actually, we have more space for more masonry workers. So let's put more workers there first. Make sure that this is full. Yep, which is good. Now we may, like I said, we may still have to kind of expand and change this area. But I did purposefully leave a lot of space on the sides here for things to get sent via the transports. Alright. So we got our wells. And we're gonna upgrade these as they're kind of the most central. Oh. We're all out of upgrade. We can't upgrade. Where the heck did the cut stone go? What did I just put that to? I have no clue. Oh, you know what it is? The people. I think they're taking it. They are using the cut stone. There's so many of them. We had an accident. We had an accident at the paper maker. Oh, God. He was crushed. Poor Jimmy. Usually their names are like Chartuk and Hoop Snatch and stuff like that. Got me coughing over here. Listen, that's not very good. Actually, yeah, I think this would be the best place to put a little hospital here. And really, it's not too far away from where the fabric is literally being made, like right across the street, so that perfectly works. Like that. Yeah, 25. Actually, we'll do it there on the main road. Like that. There we go. People will not die on my watch. Never again. As mentioned, though, it's unlikely we're ever actually going to defend our city from this stance, so it's more than likely we'll just utilize the space. This city's not being designed from the get-go with that in mind. If I was to design a city with that in mind, I think that it's easier to do the achievements separate. And obviously that the guy that I was talking about did them all in one go. But for me, it makes more sense to do them separate. Hello, Goots. What's up, my cat? How are you doing? Alright, nice. So we got plenty more space. And our population is booming. And these guys are trained up. So let's get them trained up a little bit more. 40% sounds good to me. And it looks like we've got our shields, so we can get these guys some shields for sure. Which is awesome. Awesome. This building came in just in time. Just in time. And I want to keep it with 4. And we'll even give this guy a little bit of storage for that and have him grab from here. Just to keep this filled. We don't want to lose people. And I think that a thing is, I kind of want to have more caretakers. Some of the caretakers need to be there to actually take care of the person, I think. They also changed the bed. I don't know if they take care of the person, really. Says he's bleeding badly. He is bleeding pretty badly. He died from an accident. A gladiator accident. God. A simple gladiator accident. He died where, though? Where's the arena's over here? He died all the way over here. Poor guy. Well, babies are unlikely to die from accidents, so we don't really need to worry about that in that regard. They don't even starve, I don't think. Alright, so our guys, our 120 Talapi bowmen are finally trained after years. And we're going to march their asses down here. They're going to take out these rebel regions. Meanwhile, we've been upgrading our production line here, kind of. So what I've gone and done is I've increased the production for alcohol, or I've created production for alcohol, I should say. We're creating Shade. You can see we've got 3.4 thousand Shade, which is pretty good. Obviously, we're not drinking any of that because it would be gone in an instant. But I am planning to put that into rations, potentially, as it can help make more rations for a, basically just fruit, which would alleviate our stress on fish, giving us more rations overall for things that we already have a lot of, which is fruit. We have tons and tons of fruit, obviously. More fruit than we probably could ever possibly need. So we're going to be doing that. And as you can see, some of my resources are still low. They're dropping. We have to get those up there. So we have new methods coming in. We're obviously going to start expanding. Well, it looks like we have battle on our hands too. So we're going to have some enemy rebels coming, which is going to be a great thing to test our army here. We've got a bunch of boys ready to go. And actually, we're going to get these guys trained up to 50% there. Let's get them trained in here. I want to see them get trained. Alright, so we could auto or we could engage. Auto, we'll lose all of our guys. We can engage like this, though. Alright, here we are. We've got our bowmen here. We are in a nice desert map. We've got a big open plain for them to come across, and our guys are relatively well trained, so we're just going to start this up. Mind you, these are our bowmen now. These are our trained up bows. So as they come along this open field, they're going to get peppered by our Talapis. I think they are humans? Yes. So they're about to be decimated. The first strikes land, and they hit their marks. And we'll speed up time a little bit so we can see what happens. And mind you, you can do this with a smaller group of guys pretty effectively. It cost me a lot of rations, but as I'm upgrading my rations, and I'm going to start to expand via these guys, kind of works out. And these are my boys. I've never used conscripts, but I figured they'd be just as good as our trained up Amebians. And we're going to have our rebel battle in a minute too. So here they are. They didn't even make it across the field. And I think a lot of people do get frustrated. They think that archers are OP. In reality, if you and your 50 or 100 men wanted to cross a field against 120 archers, good luck. I promise you, you will not make it about as far as these guys did. And they still are going. I'll give them that. I'll give them credit. They died to a man. Every single one of them. Which is great. That gives all of our Talapi bowmen, who are our Talapi bowmen, not the mercenaries, experience. So we're going to release these prisoners who really shouldn't have been any. And then we're going to click on these guys and look at them. As you can see, they don't seem to have their experience, though, which is odd. I don't know why that is. Maybe they, as conscripts, don't get experience. That would be a weird one, but Who knows? Alright. Mercy this, and we're going to occupy their territory, and we're going to move on to the next one. And we're going to take out Pasithel, because they are looking pretty weak to me. They're looking pretty weak to me. And that looks really, really good to get that right there. So this automatically will get me up to 600 target. So we can get that without any problems. This is a really large region. So we are really in a nice region for what we're gaining here. Interesting that they lost it. I think that they could probably get away with that. And then, so this guy, he has this. We could drop that and give a Globian pasture here, which would be a smart idea. And then this area just gave us clay, so we can also take off the clay from here and potentially give ourselves something else in this region. Potentially more Globians. Yes, more Globians. Always more Globians. And those guys are going to get to it. They're going to march on that next position. While I do this, they should be at least moving there. Yep. And like I said, we're going to march on this guy, Pasithel, because he is looking mighty weak right now. He has lost multiple territories. I think I'll take out his territories around him first, and then I'll take out him again, or later after. So, here we are. We've got our rebel attack. These guys are likely better trained and more equipped. Alright. But we have a bigger army, of course. No, they're not better trained. They don't really have better equipment. They're about average. Okay, so they've got a few bowmen. Good Talapis. They appear to be facing the wrong direction. And as you can see, these are our beautiful boys. We've got our Mevians all lined up. These are the powerful Mevians here, the golden ones. And then we have our silver Mevians, who are the guys in the armor, the light armor. And then you can see there's kind of like grayish guys here. It's hard to see these gray guys. There's two groups on either side, gray. And then these guys are kind of like silver little guys. Those are the untrained. They're not untrained. They're actually pretty well trained. And then these guys, apparently, they're supposed to be the bowmen, but they apparently don't have their bows. So that would have been useful for them to have. Let's put them back here so that they don't die. That's a big blunder on my behalf, but to be honest, they aren't going to withstand what's about to hit them. The archers aren't even going to get off a shot. Okay, so just move forward. Just generally move in a forward direction here. Yep. And you'll see as our massive lines of beautiful boys intersect with these bastard chumps. Yep. That's what's going to happen. Then we're going to pull these badass troopers this way. Especially these badass troopers this way. These aren't the most badass of troopers. These are the more badass of troopers, so we're actually going to get these guys to come too. Everyone needs to intersect with an enemy group. Did you not understand the command that I just told you? Should have understood that one. Charge the rear! That was not even a battle. There's never battles, man. They don't stand up to me. They never stand up. I never get a battle. I never get a dang old battle. I don't think you lost a single guy. These are probably people who aren't even trained. Guys, just finish them off, man. Get them. How the heck they stood up against my Mevians with 80% melee training and near full armor and weapons, I have no clue. But yeah, the power of Mevians. Eat it, motherfucker! This guy died so that we could survive, and we're gonna set all prisoners that aren't ours to be executed. So we'll have these guys, well, these guys, no, we'll have them enslaved, of course, if we did have captured, if we do capture them, I should say. And that's also, let me break this road over. All right, and we're gonna finish her off here. Oh, this is an interesting map. Well, as they come towards you, it's better off to just put it over here and then start them out. They will walk towards your group rather than the throne, and they will die. They will die a horrible death. We lost a few to friendly fire, but that's okay. Awesome. So we'll finish our march. And we'll release Mercy. And then capture this region once and for all. And holy crap, they are base target 700. Jesus. So these are going to be the regions that give us some good stuff. They'll be saved for things like this. Wow. That's something. That is something right there. Jeez. They're huge. Their base and max pop is huge. Alright, let's get these troops back to the capital here so they can obtain rations easier. As you can see, we've got murders, executions happening. And this was a pretty short episode, really, on the terms of just upgrades and things like that. But we expanded some of the more necessary stuff. We got more masons. We got a new carpenter here. Put a warehouse here because there was no space. And we've got our transport delivering pottery to that alcohol warehouse. Put a bunch more housing in. Obviously, we put the boyer and we put the carpenter for the shields. I had to lower them down because we weren't producing near enough leather, and we're going to need to get some more and more ore pastures. But there's plenty of space now that we've got that going. Those new Talapi Bowman troopers are going to be out there blasting away, taking territory for the king, for the lord. And we've got our warehouses here filling up nicely. Obviously, we're short on wood and a few other of these things like cotton and leather, but I'd rather be short on these and not short on these. I'd rather see a lot more of this stuff, which we do have. So thank God. And you can see we've got our huge influx of Talapis. Get out of here. I'm sick of you. We're going to free all of the these Amebians. So let's free these 38 guys here. It's going to be a big boon to the population, but it's also going to be kind of a debuff. In the same regard, you'll see their happiness will drop a little bit because of all those slaves. But that's okay. That's okay. And we are currently working on gaining enough of this stuff here. What is it called? Shade. And we're also finishing up this building here, so I can speed up time. We'll finish that off in this video here. And this building is going to be using... No, I don't want your shit. I don't want your crap, sir. You can keep it. This building is obviously going to be utilizing the shade and the fruit that we're producing. And it should be able to produce a larger portion if I was to look at the math and check it. So, there we go. We can upgrade this for relatively cheap. And you can see that these are the different production lines. So 6 bread makes 2 rations, which is pretty good because it's just bread. Ultimately the cheapest alternative to everything, but you can see for 3 and 0.5 of the shade you get 3 rations, and it could do the same with fruit. 0.5 herbs and 3 you get 2.5, so it doesn't equal out the same. You end up using more of that. So I'm gonna try this one and see how we do on that, producing rations here. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's sporadic, and you know, sometimes I know what I'm doing, other times I have no clue what I'm doing. This series, I know what I'm doing, but the direction is an interesting one because we're trying to capture as many different regions as possible while also growing our military and our defenses. And that's basically all these guys are good for. They don't do anything else. The Amebians are really not interested in anything. They like conquest in their own regard. They really want peace at the end of the day. The conquest is the end game, or the peace is the end game of the conquest, I should say. So they want to conquer everything and then instill peace. So you can see we've got like 21 more slaves. We're gonna free them. We're gonna keep doing that. We're just gonna keep freeing them. And the idea is that these poor Mevians were forced into servitude underneath a dictator-type regime, rebels, or whatever you call them. We are noble people who saved them from servitude. Yes, yes, amazing, amazing. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye!